Yo, I'm in the zone when the big blocks rumble. Slide in the slick, watch the quick line crumble. MDiTV got the heat in the tunnel. Boost in the stream, better tighten that buckle. Dirt flying, wide tires grinding. Slide job city, full send, no hiding. Modified beast, you can't fake that tone. It's a full barrel growl and it shakes your dome. Big block, we bring the thunder. Big block, straight out of the under. Big block, tear up the clay. If you ain't built tough, better get out the way. From Brewerton down to the Port Royal gates, I'm shifting fate when I rotate plates. Got torque in the veins and hate in the dust. It's checkers or wreckers and slide we trust. I ain't here for a cruise or a cameo. I'm throwing sliders like Mario. Red flag rage when I rage the show. Tech with the flow when the wheels go roll. Big block, full send savage. Big block, dirt track havoc. Big block, hear that scream. Built not bought, it's a racer's dream. Shout out to the warriors in the pits. Wrench turners, heat burners, slide with the blitz. MDiTV, yeah, we lit on stream. When the big blocks roll, you know what it means.
What's up, Landon? What's up, buddy?
It's a racer's dream.
Just waiting for the session to go up.
Shout out to the warriors in the pits. Wrench turners, heat burners, slide with the blitz. MDiTV, yeah, we lit on stream. When the big blocks roll, you know what it means. Yeah, you know what it means.
Still showing everybody into practice. Give me 1 minute. What's up, Drew Alton? What's up, Drew? What is taking it so long to get everybody in the session? I hate this about the season openers.
You know what it means.
There we go. All right, jumping up in the session right now. Looks like we got Little Digger in there. Got Little Digger in there. Let's go see who else we got in there as we are jumping in. What's up, Karen? What's up, everybody? Lucas Oil Speedway, 5886. Looks like we got Caleb Durgan. Colin Murphy's in there. Damian Ward, Dylan Yeager, Ethan Bill, Felix Waugh out there. Boniface, LaFawn, Cudney. Haven't seen him in a while. Brundage, Go Famous, Tyson Banks, Trevin Lane. Definitely some hitters. Look at Eric McCarthy making top split opener. Larry saying, let's go, Damian. I did get out of iRacing and go back in. It still said they were in practice for me.
Randy Johnson charging, no slowing down. T. Clem's making moves, eyes on the crowd. Logan
Getting up in the session right now, everybody. Who's ready for the season opener here? Should be a wild one here tonight. We're going to go ahead and move it on over here. Wait for Trading Paints to catch up. There it is. As Dylan Yeager, Ethan Bill now going to be out there with the quick time. He is in that number 6 car. That will change here in a few. It is going to be 50 laps here for tonight's main event. We have heat races, 2 heat races, 1 consi, and we do have 1 more driver than it. So we will be sending 1 home here tonight. And 18 cars going into tonight's 50 lap main event. Yo, 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 what's up, Swank? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, who else we got? We got Dylan Yeager out there. Jordan LaFon out there in the 144. Curtis Griffin out there in the number 22. Damian Ward out there in the 32. These guys out there putting some laps in. Brundage out there in the 916. Got Tyson Banks in here in the 747. That's a little different paint scheme for him. Get it, E-Bill. You're working on the real car tonight. Nice. Where is Felix Waugh? Let's go take a look and see if he's even in here yet. He is in here. He has not put a lap down. Felix Waugh going to be out there here tonight. Colin Murphy up to that number 5 position. You know, it's so weird because we get 1 week off of these openers. It feels like it's absolutely forever before the next season. What's up, Braden? Just out there saying good luck, Joe and Tyson. We'll see how they're able to do here tonight. I don't know what my, I'm going to have to reopen this Facebook side. Hold on. It's going to goof up my screen a little bit. We're going to, I don't know what's going on with the Facebook. Frickin', let's go, E-Bill, says Tammy. You missed the race like normal. Yeah, typical Drew Alton. I'm sure the field is thankful they're not going to get Drew Alton today. Let's see Ethan Bill out there with the quick time in the number 14. Kenny Cudney in 6th place. We're going to get into qualifying now, as that is going to be the end of practice. These guys got 2 laps to put down the quickest time they can to set themselves up for a good starting spot in the heat race. So, what's up? Oh, I'm doing good. Sorry, Clint. I missed it. I'm bad. My bad. My bad, Clint. All right, so it looks like Kenny Cudney going to jump out here pretty quickly to do his first lap of the qualifying here in that number 25. They'll have a few less X's for sure, Drew. You know, I'll tell you what, they're talking in the chat right now. Pretty positive chat right now, which is a good thing because sometimes we see some of that wild chat. We hear some of that wild chat. As Cudney going to go quick time with a 14.445. Let's see who else we got out there. Caleb Durgan's out on the track doing his first lap. Can Caleb Durgan take the quick time here tonight? As he comes out of turn number 4, let's see what that lap time's going to be. He's going to be quick time with a 14.177. Caleb Durgan out there in that number 17. Scott Helms. Who the Helms is that guy? Who the Helms is that guy? All right, we got a few people across all the streams. Let's see. Ethan Bill going to go second quick. We got Damian Ward out on the track right now. Like I said, Caleb Durgan with the quick time. Dylan Yeager out on the track. Felix Waugh out on the track. We're going to keep an eye on both these lap times between Dylan Yeager and Yeager's going to go third quick. Where's Damian Ward going to put that number 32? He's going to go fourth quick with a 14.228. Here comes Felix Waugh in that number 91 machine as he comes out of turn number 4. Where's he going to put it? Brundage going to put his lap in about the same time. Felix Waugh going to go 5th quick. Brundage goes 4th quick. This is going to be a stacked field here tonight. Matt Schaefer out on the track. Looks like Brian Gofamis in that number 8 position. Schaefer is going to go 17th. It's so weird seeing Colin Murphy that far down on the boards. I know. That's what Adam says. Let's go, Damian Ward, as we are going to get ready for heat race number 1. They're going to get out on the track. People just realizing the changes from the update. All right, getting ready here for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole here tonight with that quick time, it is going to be the number 17 of Caleb Durgan. Starting outside of him in the number... I always forget his number. It's going to be Dylan Yeager. Starting inside row number 2 here tonight in the number 91 machine, it's going to be Felix Waugh. Outside of him... Yeah, the 48 is Dylan Yeager. Outside of him in the number 25, it's going to be Kenny Cudney. Starting inside row number 3 here tonight in the number 35 machine, it's going to be Cameron Tuttle. Outside of him in the number 29 is going to be Brett Grubb. Starting inside row number 4 in the 747, it's going to be Tyson Banks. Outside of him in the 144, it's going to be Jordan LaFawn. Then starting inside row number 5 in that number 83 machine, it's going to be Matt Schaefer. Outside of him, I can't see the number on Murphy. I think he's normally in the 9. It's going to be Colin Murphy. 8 laps here tonight in heat race number 1 as they pull out on the track. Who's it going to be here tonight in heat race number 1? I think Durgan's going to be hard to beat. Usually pretty hard to pass early on in these races. As they head into turn number 3 and 4, they're going to get the 1 to go this time by Durgan. Is going to lead the field to the green flag. It's SDK saying Caleb Durgan crashed. It already knows he's going to catch an infield tire. All right, we're going to look for the green flag this time by Pace Truck is off. Caleb Durgan and Dylan Yeager on that front row. Looking for the green flag this time by as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Who's it going to be? Here tonight in heat race number 1, green flag is out. Green flag's out as Durgan and Yeager are going to go single file pretty quick, but we got Felix Waugh and Kenny Cudney still side by side. Waugh can't quite clear him as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Felix trying to run that inside. Almost catches that tire through turn number 3 and 4. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Cudney back on the outside down into 1 and 2. Waugh's finally going to clear him, slides up the track. That's going to allow Cudney to try to cross him over. Can't quite get there. He's going to get there in turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Cudney back down low. A little bit of contact down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. We had contact further back right now. Banks in that 7th and final transfer spot. And we are watching the battle for that number 3 position. Cudney going to slide up out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. Takes the number 3 spot. Felix going to go back to the bottom in turn number 1 and 2. Tries to dig out. Can he get up underneath Cudney? Can he get there? He's down there into turn number 3 and 4. Side by side. Drag race out of 4. Waugh slides up the track. Almost in the back of Cudney. He's going to swing it out. Able to not connect with him as they come out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Felix Waugh back in line. Right now, Tyson Banks in that final transfer spot. LaFawn looking to his outside. That is the battle for that 7th and final spot. Tyson Banks is in. LaFawn is out. Banks is going to park it in front of him. Here comes Colin Murphy. 3-car battle for the transfer spot. Murphy going to get a great run through turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Durgan leading the way as we watch the battle for the final transfer spot. Murphy's in it. He's going to slide through 3 and 4. Here comes Banks with the cut down. He's got LaFawn below him. They make contact. White flag is out. 1 lap to go into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Who's going to get the final transfer spot? Here comes Banks. He drives it in hard on the bottom. Out of turn number 4 to the line. Murphy, Banks, going to be 6 and 7. What happened? Did we lose somebody? Huh. All right, it's going to be Durgan, Yeager, Cudney, Waugh, Tuttle, LaFon and Banks going to the feature. All right, let's re-rack them, restack them. Here for heat race number 2. I might have just not known how to count in that one. It is going to be the number 14 of Ethan Bill starting on the pole here tonight. Outside of him in the 916, it's going to be Nick Brundage. Starting inside row number 2 in the number 32 machine, it's going to be Damian Ward. Outside of him in the number 84, it's going to be Ryan Gofamis. Starting inside row number 3 in the number 27 machine, it's going to be Trevin Lane. Outside of him in the 213, it's going to be Jim Boniface. Starting inside row number 4 in the number 22 machine, it's going to be Curtis Griffin. Outside of him in the number 9, it's going to be Joseph Matthews. Rounding out the field here tonight in the 83X, it's going to be Eric McCarthy. They're going to pull out on the track here for pace lap number 1. Ethan Bill leading the way here tonight. Can he hold on like Durgan did for 8 laps to start on the outside pole? This is going to set up our outside lane in tonight's feature. Top 7 transfer through. 8th and 9th will be going to the Conti here tonight. That was a hell of a battle for the transfer spot, LaFon. As he's out there tagging people. Always appreciate that, LaFon. Always appreciate that. As we are going green flag this time by. Pace truck is in. They are side by side down the back straightaway. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like, share, and follow button as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Side by side. Ethan Bill on the gas. Green flag is out. Oh, no. Ward around. Trevin Lane caught up. Curtis Griffin caught up. Big issue there on the start. What happened? What happened to Damian Ward? Oh, netcode happened. He caught the inside tire too. That is unfortunate for Damian Ward as him and Trevin Lane had some netcode. Back up to the front. Ethan Bill leads the way. Nick Brundage in second. Ryan Gofamis third. Boniface fourth. Matthews in fifth. McCarthy 6, Damian Ward in that number 7 spot. McCarthy able to miss that wreck for the most part. He's going to slide himself into that number 6 spot. He is in a transfer spot. He's got Ward on his heels, but Trevin Lane and Curtis Griffin way far back. It's looking like they're going to have to go into tonight's Consi. As long as these guys don't get together, I say that. Ward into the back of McCarthy. McCarthy going to move up the track as they come down the back straightaway to 3 and 4. Slides up the track. Move Ward up to that number 6 spot. You got to wonder how that thing's handling. He took a pretty good lick on that infield tire after he got spun around, and you got to wonder, does anybody have a black flag? McCarthy does have the black flag, so that looks like it's going to put Trevin Lane in there more than likely. Depends on how big of a penalty he got on that black flag. Down the back straightaway to turn number 3 and 4. Ethan Bill leads the way. Griffin going to have issues. He's going to spin out as Ethan continues to lead it. I don't think Griffin would have done that had he known McCarthy has a black flag. He could have had a chance to catch Trevin Lane in that number 27. Up at the front, Ethan Bill leads the way. Gofamis, they're spread out pretty good. Boniface trying to put some pressure on Gofamis as they head through turn number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway, looking for the checkered flag this time by Ethan Bill. Going to take the win. Brundage second. Gofamis, Boniface, Matthew, Ward, and we're going to see who gets that number 7 position here in just a second. I got to go to this because it is going to be Trevin Lane into that number 7 spot. McCarthy is going to have to go to the LCQ. Go Damien, says Lori. All right, so 5 cars here in the LCQ. We're going to go ahead and stack them up. One of these guys are going home here tonight. You don't want to be that guy. Let me know in the chat. I don't want to know who wins. I want to know who's going home. Let me know in the chat, as it is going to be starting on the pole here tonight in the LCQ. It's going to be the 144 of Jordan LaFon. Outside of him in the number 83X, it's going to be Eric McCarthy. Starting inside row number 2 in the number 29 machine, it's going to be Brett Grubb. Outside of him in the number 22, it's going to be Curtis Griffin. Rounding out the field here tonight in the number 83, it's going to be Matt Schaefer. So one of these guys have to go home here tonight. Who's it gonna be? Pace truck's gonna pull off. Pace truck pulls off as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Somebody's going to be racing for their life here to stay in contention to try and make it into tonight's main event. Right now, it is Schaefer that is in that one spot out. He's going to look to have a good start here. Will he choose the bottom or the top? Coming to the green, will he lay back a little bit, try to get the run? We're about to find out as they're going to get one to go at the line this time by. He's going to pull up on the back bumper. Looks like he is looking for the outside lane. That might be the choice. It is definitely moving up a little bit on the track. Starting on that outside spot gives you a better swing out of the turn. Coming to the green, and he can kind of put that thing wherever he wants it in the number 83. Let's see if he puts it in the middle as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Looking for the green flag. Jordan LaFon leads the field. Green flag is out as LaFon goes. They're 3 wide into turn number 4. Griffin's going to back out. Down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Schaefer was biding his time, seeing those guys take it 3 wide for the number 2 spot. Knew there might have been contact there. They ended up all pulling out of it, but here comes Schaefer down low as Griffin swings high. Side by side for the number 2 and the number 4 spot. One of these guys are going to be out. Schaefer having a little bit of internet malfunction. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Schaefer's in, but here comes Griffin with the run on the outside. Who's going to have it at the line? Schaefer at the line that time by. Oh, Schaefer gives the door. Oh no, McCarthy sideways. Schaefer sends it in there. McCarthy's going to pay the price in that 83X. Right now, he is 1 spot out as Schaefer in the number 3 position. He was looking for more. If these 4 can keep it clean, they're probably going to be pretty good. Unless Schaefer's got some speed in that number 83. Didn't look like he had too much speed in the heat race. Maybe that car's going to start to come to life as they come out of turn number 4. 4 laps complete. Laboon going to lead the field. Brett in that number 2 spot. Schaefer in a 3rd. Griffin 4th. McCarthy trails in that 83X through turn number 3 and 4. Griffin starting to close in on the 83 of Matt Schaefer as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Will we see a battle for the number 3 spot? I'll tell you what, there's one driver rooting for that battle. It's going to be Eric McCarthy just behind these guys. He really needs them to get racing to help draw him in and give him an opportunity as they got 4 laps to go as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway to turn number 3 and 4. Still single file, but Griffin definitely putting the pressure on that number 83. Down the front straightaway. 3 laps to go. Griffin going to look low in turn number 1 and 2. He's going to make contact with Schaefer. That is what McCarthy wants to see as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Griffin looking to the outside. Swings it out too far. 2 laps to go at the line as they head into 1 and 2. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Griffin trying to wind that thing up on the top side as they come out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway through turn number 3 and 4. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go as they come down the front straightaway. Griffin trying to put the pressure on Schaefer through turn number 3 and 4. He's going to wind it up one more time out of turn number 2. Down into turn number 3. He's going to play it safe. Takes it to the top side. Out of turn 4, it's going to be LaFon with the LCQ win. Grubb in 2nd. Schaefer 3rd. Griffin 4th. McCarthy going home here tonight in that number 5 position. Yeah, that was unfortunate for McCarthy. He's going to get the worst of that one. PD, what's up? Pete. All right, so we got everybody out there in the chat. Make sure you guys are clicking that like, share, and follow button. Let's get some more people. Let's help these platforms share our stream as we are going to re-rack them, restack them for tonight's main event. Let's go ahead and rack them up. Oh, they are mad. All right, ready for tonight's starting lineup here. Who's it gonna be? Starting on the pole here tonight in the number 17 machine, We didn't see him a lot late in the season. It's going to be the number 17 of Caleb Durgan. Outside of him, in the number 14, it is going to be Ethan Bill. Starting inside, row number 2, in the number 48 machine, it's going to be Dylan Yeager. Outside of him, in the 916, it's going to be Nick Brundage. Starting inside, row number 3, in the number 25 machine, it's going to be Kenny Cuddy. Outside of him, in the number 84, it's going to be Ryan Gofamis. Starting inside, row number 4, in the number 91 machine, it's going to be Felix Wah. Outside of him, in the 213, it's going to be Jim Boniface. Starting inside, row number 5, here tonight, in the number 35 machine, it's going to be Cameron Tuttle. Outside of him, in the number 9, it's going to be Joseph Matthews. Starting inside, row number 6, it's going to be Colin Murphy. Outside of him, in the number 32, it's going to be Damian Ward. Rounding out the rest of the field here tonight, starting on the inside of row number 7, it's going to be the 747 of Tyson Banks. Outside of him, it's going to be the number 27 of Trevin Lane. Starting inside, row number 8, it's going to be the 144 of LaFawn. Outside of him, it's going to be Brett Grubb. Then rounding out the field here tonight, it is going to be Matt Schaefer, Curtis Griffin. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they head into turn at number 1 and 2. Look at Yeager go down on that bottom side, down the back straightaway, looking for turn at number 3 and 4. Yeager has that bottom side digging. He's going to catch the infield tire, though, out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, looking for turn number 1 and 2. Ethan Bill going to run the middle. Brundage all the way up to the top. We see lots of different lanes as the caution flag comes out. Looks like the Turtle is going to have issues here tonight in that number 35 machine. Let's go see what happened to Cameron Tuttle in this number 35 machine. They're going to send it into turn number 3 and 4. They just make a little bit of net code there. Damian Ward gets low. It looks like Tuttle comes down, not knowing Ward was going to get that run. We're going to take a different look at it from here. Definitely some net code might have been playing a role here. He tried to back out of it. Nah, they made contact. It should have never turned him around like that. So caution flag number 1 out on the track here tonight as Durgan leads the field. Love it. Yeah, Caleb Durgan winning this week at Airborne Speedway. Good for Durgan, as they got them restacked up as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Going to be Durgan leading the way side by side. Who's it going to be? As they come across the line, they're going to re-rack them, restack them. Thought we were going green this time. I guess we're going green now as they head into turn number 1 and 2. All right, down into turn number 3 and 4. Durgan and Yeager side by side. When's Durgan going to fire off? Oh, Yeager gets on the gas, but it does not stick as they come out of turn number 4. Brundage had to get on the binders to not get that black flag as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Yeager going to lose a lot of ground down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Yeah, no problem. That was a lot of fun. I might have to make something out of that. That was a ton of fun in the ARCA cars. Yeah, LaFawn's got a little bit of work to do. He is battling back there, though. I see him jockeying for position as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, side by side, as Gofamis runs the bottom side up underneath Brundage as they come out of, and Yeager as they come out of turn number 2. Contact with the wall by Kenny Cuddy up on the high side coming out of turn number 2. Now contact between Gofamis and Yeager. Yeager able to hold on to it as they head through 1 and 2. I'll tell you what, Gofamis has that bottom side rolling. As Schaefer going to have issues at the back of the pack. He is sideways on the track. That's going to bring out the caution flag as these guys come down the front straightaway. Carlo as they head into 1 and 2. Oh my God, it's going to get tight in there. Oh my God. All right, we're going to go take a look and see what happened to Schaefer here. Oh, he gets tunneled. He gets totaled. Oh my God, he almost was up and over. Gets turned around. Caution flag comes out for the second time here tonight. All right, so we definitely are starting to get tempers flaring a little bit early on here tonight, and it's not even where you expect it. Some of these guys up here in the middle of the field, Caleb Durgan out front, Ethan Bill second, Brundage, Yeager, Felix Waugh, Brian Gofamis, Kenny Cudney, Boniface, Ward, and Matthews, your top five. So LaFon is up a couple spots in that 114, trying to methodically work his way up through the field. We'll see if he's got the speed to come up through. He's driving like the Headless Horseman. Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation, wasn't it? As we are going to look for the green flag pretty quick. Let's see if we get that one to go this time by as Durgan leads the field. Looks like they're going to stack them up 2 by 2. We are going green flag this time by as they head into turn number 1. Durgan going to lead the field out of turn number 2. They are stacked up nice and pretty down the back straightaway. Oh, Ward was fine, yeah. I just don't think he expected Ward down there, I think is what that was. Looking for the green flag. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Durgan going to have a good jump out of turn number 4. Here comes Brundage up underneath Ethan Bill. He's looking to slide into second. Bill's going to close that gap down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Brundage going to roll it down low in the 916, slides up the track. Bill's got to get on the brakes into the back of Brundage. He's going to dive it up underneath into turn number 1 and 2. Down into 1 and 2. Here comes Ethan Bill out of turn and number 2 down the back straightaway. Almost contact with Brundage. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Felix Waugh down to the bottom side as Yeager is getting shuffled out up on the high side. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Yeager going to fight back on the outside. Back up into that number 5 spot. Looking for more. Looking for 4th. As they head into turn number 3 and 4. This is wild racing up at the front as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Ethan Bill and Dylan Yeager making a little bit of contact maybe down that front straightaway as they're still side by side. Bill giving it all he has as they come out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. Contact with Yeager. Yeager into the wall. Ethan got up a little too high there, bumping Yeager into the wall down the front straightaway. Yeager going to lose a bunch of spots. He's got to try to fight back. Looks like he's gathered it in pretty nicely. He's back to the number 6 spot. He's looking for 5th. Down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Felix down on the bottom side. Yeager up high. Felix going to continue to roll it down low. If that bottom side comes in, there's a couple guys to definitely look out for. Looks like Felix pretty committed to that side. Gofamis was really running that bottom side before that last caution. Look for the 80. Oh, he gets the wall as I say it. Down the back straightaway into 3 and 4, but look for him to move to the bottom at some point in this race. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Big lick out of Brian Gofamis there. You got to wonder if maybe he's got some damage on that thing. That was a pretty solid lick. He's going to move the bottom in 3 and 4. Slides up the track. Tries to get up underneath Bill out of turn number 4. Oh, you're good, William. What's up, buddy? How you been? How you been? Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Most of the field single file. Here comes Gofamis down low. Looking up underneath Bill out of turn number 4. They touch. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Slide job by Ryan. Ethan going to come back with the cut down out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Look for him to ship it through 3 and 4. No, he's going to keep it down on the bottom out of turn 4. Gofamis with a big run out of turn number 4. Down into turn number, I'm sure he's not happy with him. I guarantee he's not happy as Ryan Gofamis going to get the wall again as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Ryan's got to keep it out of that wall. That wall is going to bite him if he keeps flirting with it as they head through turn number 1 and 2. He's going to roll the high side. Watch him down this back straightaway as we got a battle definitely heating up here. Oh, no, that's not a battle. That is Laboon going a lap down. What happened to Jordan LaFon? Yellow flag comes out. Did LaFon stayed on the lead lap. LaFon saved by the bell in the 144. He was going a lap down, and the caution flag comes out and saves him as Murphy has issues. Let's see what happened to Colin Murphy. Oh no, he tried to squeeze it in a hole that just wasn't there. That hole closed up and he did not. Oh no, it isn't going to give him his lap back. No. Oh, I don't know why I'm breaking up over there on Facebook. That is weird. Let me know if it's any better. Not really anything I could do if it's breaking up over there. It's all the same stuff and everything looks good. Yeah, the sound, everything. All right, so we are working the caution flag here once again as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Okay, did give LaFon the wave around. I was worried about that as he's just going to get the wave around because he was behind the pace car truck when it came out. You're good? Yeah, you might. Sometimes Facebook is weird. As they head into turn number 3 and 4, Durgan looking for that green flag. 19 laps complete when they hit the green flag. Green flag is out. We got 31 laps to go. 31 laps to go as they head into 1 and 2. Durgan going to try to take the middle. Bill was looking low. Durgan cuts down. Bill had to back out of it as Ethan Bill looking for second. But here comes Brundage digging on the outside. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, looking for turn number 1 and 2. Ethan Bill continuing to roll that bottom side. He can't get to the top side as GoFamus way up high. I thought he was going to get above Brundage as Brundage squeezes down Ethan Bill. Brundage is going to have to be careful here. He concentrates on Ethan Bill too much. He's going to have some issues because GoFamus is coming as he pushed him down the front straightaway. Almost allows Ethan Bill to get away. Down into 3 and 4. Bill's going to throw the slide cut down by Brundage. Ethan Bill up too high. Up over the berm. That's going to cost him. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Ryan going to follow him as they come through turn number 1 and 2. Oh my God, that was sketchy as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Things tightened up quick. Here comes Damian Ward in the 32. Where did he come from? Damian was way back. We weren't even talking about him. All of a sudden, peeking his way up, battling for that number 2 spot, too, as they head into turn at number 3 and 4. Here comes Felix Waugh. Contact Ethan Bill sideways. Big save down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Here comes Trevin Lane in the number 27. These guys making moves and running out of room. Somebody's going to get turned up in this group as Ward slides across the nose of Bill as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Oh, Bill's going to get the wall down the front straightaway. That's going to cost him more. He's going to be up and over the berm. Beats and Bill going to fall back to the number 10 spot. Contact with him and Cudney. Ethan Bill has definitely gone the wrong way all the way back to 10th. Kenny worked his way back forward. These cars are fast, and this track is tight. It is super hard to pass. As you can see, Yeager is still back in that number 8 spot. He hasn't moved forward either. And those two made contact. Will they continue that beef as they come out of turn number 4? Side by side, Yeager on the bottom. Ethan Bill down low, down into turn number 1 and 2. Bill is going to dig that outside. Yeager down low. Doesn't touch him. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Great battling back here. Yeager catches the tire. He's going to check up. Cudney is going to get the worst of that one in that number 25. Yeager caught that inside tire. Nowhere for anybody to go. Big stack up back in the pack. They're going to keep it straight as Caleb Durgan is checking out. 1 second lead over Nick Brundage. Ryan GoFamus has some speed in that number 84. He is looking for a way to catch Nick Brundage and find his way around. Brundage going to pull him, though, down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Felix Waugh running in that number 4 spot. Here comes Damian Ward. Ward going to ship it into turn number 1 and 2. Slide job as Waugh dives up underneath down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Felix going to try to slide up. It's not there. He's got to back out of it. Ward backs out of it down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Felix going to pinch him down a bit. Ward not able to throw the slide. He's going to try to get the drive out of turn number 2. He does. They're side by side into turn number 3. Little bit of contact there. Ward almost over-rotated. Waugh's going to push up the track down the front straightaway. They almost touch as they head into 1 and 2. Slide job by Ward. Cut down by Waugh. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Still side by side. The 91 of Felix Waugh having a run here with Ward to his outside. Great battle for the number 4 spot. Here comes Felix up the track. Big cut down by Ward. He had to be really patient as it looks like Trevin Lane gave him a lot of space as they head into 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Sorry, wrong way. Dig Damian Ward, says Desiree. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Slide job by Ward, cut down by Wah. Wah going to drive it down the back straightaway. He's going to send it into 3 and 4. Is he going to slide up the track? No, he's going to keep it low. He's going to look for the slide in turn number 1 and 2. Down into turn number 1 and 2. He's not going to have the room. He's got to stay down low. Ward's going to have the big run out of turn number 2 as the battle for second is definitely picking up. As Brundage going to slide up the track. Watch Go Famous. Big run out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Ward has finally sealed that number 4 spot as here comes Go Famous down to the bottom. I said look for him to go to the bottom. He's really digging turn number 1 and 2 on that bottom side. Gained a lot of ground out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. He's going to go top side of 1 and 2 this time. Out of turn number 2. I don't think he's going to go there again in turn number 1 and 2. He was so much quicker down on the bottom as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Durgan continues to lead 1.4 seconds out in front of this battle. I guess he's going to move back up to the top as Trevin Lane is making a move on Felix Wah. Trevin Lane has found another gear as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Diving down low, up underneath Felix. They almost touch down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. They're going to get 10 laps to go this time by as they come out of turn number 2. Great battle back here for 4th on back. Trevin Lane going to slide up the track. He's going to close that door. Here comes Felix Wah to the bottom in turn number 1 and 2. Side by side out of turn number 2. They're going to try to make it 3 wide. Maybe not. Wah's going to fall back into the number 6 spot as Trevin Lane takes 5th. Don't look now. Here comes the 213 of Jim Boniface. Man, this battle is really starting to pick up for 4th on back. Will we see a battle for this number 2 spot as they are coming to 8 laps to go as Durgan comes across the line? 8 laps to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. This battle is simmered down a bit. Did Brian Go Famous use all those tires? He was quick. He was banging that wall a lot. That might have hurt that car as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Trevin Lane. Trevin Lane is moving quick as he's going to try to get up underneath Ward. We got a battle for that number 4 spot out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Trevin Lane methodically making his way up through the field. He is up 5 positions. Murphy up 9 positions in the number 10 spot. Dylan Yeager is out of this one. He completed 38 laps. He is going to be posted in that number 18 spot as we continue to watch this battle. 5 laps to go. They are catching Ryan Go Famous. Durgan continues to lead as Nick Brundage might be reeling him in a little bit, but it is too little too late, I think, as they get 5 laps to go. Durgan going to hit that top side. This battle for 3rd is definitely looking to heat up. Ward isn't that far behind, and maybe Go Famous is actually gaining on the 916. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 3 laps to go as they come to the line. I think these guys might be too far back as they have separated themselves a bit. Let's go find a battle as it looks like Colin Murphy has caught the back of Kenny Cudney as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Down the front straightaway, 2 laps to go as Durgan out front. We're watching the battle. 2nd on back. Ward's going to go to the top side. Trevin Lane looking for another gear. Down the back straightaway through turn number 3 and 4. They're going to get the white flag this time by 1 lap to go as they come down the front straightaway. Down into turn number 1 and 2. It is going to be Damian Ward on that outside as they head through 3 and 4 one last time. Caleb Durgan going to take that W here tonight in the number 17. Brundage, Go Famous, Ward, Trevin Lane, your top 5. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up those results and then see who we get in the Discord and get ready for the super late models. Uh-oh. They're beefing. It is going to be Caleb Durgan with the win. Nick Brundage in 2nd. Ryan Go Famous in 3rd. Going to be Damian Ward in that number 4 spot. Trevin Lane in 5th. Felix Wall going to be in the number 6 spot. Jim Boniface in 7th. Ethan Bill in 8th. Cudney going to be in that number 9 spot. Colin Murphy in 10th. Cameron Tuttle in 11th. Curtis Griffin going to be in 12th. Matt Schaefer 13th. Brett Grubb in that number 14 spot. Jordan LaFond 15th. Banks in 16th. Matthews in 17th. And Dylan Yeager going to finish in that number 18 spot. We're going to go. I would just about guarantee that Durgan's going to be in here. Making noise. He is not in here. Where the fuck are you, Durgan? Heck. Sorry, iRacing, if you're watching. All right, I don't see Durgan in here, but we are going to get ready to jump over into the other server for the Supers. See how many people they got up over there. It is just about to go live. 108 people signed up for I-55. That's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. You don't want to go anywhere. You definitely don't want to miss that one. Let's see if Durgan's made his way in for an interview. You know, this is the first time ever I think I've seen Durgan not in to run his mouth. All right, we're going to get over into the other one. Don't go anywhere. We are not going anywhere. I'm just putting that up so I can jump out of here and into the next session. Don't go anywhere, guys. We are just jumping over to the Supers. Let's see. Where are they at? I-55. All right, let's go see if that session is open for me to jump in yet. Looks like they are about to open up. They are not in their race session yet. Durgan's still not over here. We're going to get into tonight's main event. It is going to be 50 laps at I-55. There he is. I was like, how weird is that for Durgan to not want to come in and run his track?
I know. I totally forgot. I don't even know. I just forgot. Because
Well,
the 2 I won last season, you weren't live for.
Oh, yeah. And then you stopped showing up.
And then I didn't show up for the... Yeah, I mean, Kern and Bristol was terrible.
I was going to tell you what, Brundage, man, you had a great run here tonight. That thing was definitely quick. Great race between you and Ryan at the end there. Not quite able to catch Durgan, but you were closing in on him a little bit at the end of that one.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to be able to catch him, especially at Lucas Oil. But in the beginning, I think I was the first car to find the top there, and I felt like I had a chance to get to the lead. And Caleb's really good on restarts, so wasn't able to do anything. I think I felt back actually a little bit, but
you did, but you started catching him later. But I think Durgan was looking for some different lines or board.
Yeah,
I'm not sure which.
Running the middle. Yeah, I was just running the middle for a while because Ryan was really fast on the top, but I felt like it was going away up there, and I knew if I had the setup to just keep it on the bottom to the middle and just run my line, we would have been good.
Yeah, that thing was definitely fast here tonight. Why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors?
Gotta thank Caleb and Kenny for hooking me up with the sets this season, and everybody on my real life car, and you for streaming, and everyone on iRacing for running it.
Why don't you let people know where they can come watch you race in real life if they're out your way?
I race at Albany, Saratoga on Fridays in the Sportsman, and Devil's Bowl we run Saturdays or Sundays, whatever day they run.
All right, well, great run here tonight. Durgan.
Hey.
Back in victory lane. I heard you got yourself a little W this weekend. Also,
yeah, actually, Nikki B won Friday night, and then, I couldn't let Nikki B win and me not win yet, so I had to go out Saturday and win.
Had to one up me. Took home $500 more than me.
I don't know. We had a good car at Airborne Saturday, but we got really lucky with how the track was at.
That was your first win, right?
Yeah.
And Nick's first win.
And Nikki B's.
And Durgan and Clark's first win.
And Andrews
Nick Ham.
and Nicholas Ham.
And yeah,
Everybody
Nick Ham.
and Damien won last week.
yeah.
Everybody
that-
from Irish can put in.
Yeah, it was a crazy week. You know, I actually messaged somebody. I said I should do a segment every week about everybody's IRL stuff, since there's enough crossover and enough to talk about.
LJ went back to back at Brewerton.
Yeah, LJ's stupid good.
Yep.
He is really good. So yeah, I mean everybody's winning. So I mean, I've seen Hollenbeck win. I've seen LJ win. I've seen, you know, I mean it'd be kind of cool to follow everybody. It's IRL stuff and you know, kind of cross it over to the iRace and stuff. Durgan, that thing was fast. Not a lot to talk about with the race other than, you know, when the field got to catch you and you got a caution flag. Lucas Oil, such a good track.
Lucas Oil is one of my best tracks, and all I heard all day and all night was Nicky B telling me to not expect anything out of him. Lucas Oil is his worst track, and this, that, and the other. And I told him to shut up, and he's gonna finish second. And, he shut up, and he finished second. So I don't know. I'm just, you know, Nicky V's back, Dirty Dig's back 1 and 2. You know, the greatest thing about Nicky B is he finished second, and he's not going to cry about the setup like some of the past people we've had on Dirty Dig. So, you know, we're going to move on to next week, probably win again. And, yeah, I don't know. Welcome to the Nicky B and Dirty Dig show, I guess. Grab a ticket and get in line.
Well, great run here tonight. Give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors.
Everyone on this rig, I don't know. Kenny came back. I don't know how Kenny did, but, you know, Nicky B for listening to me and just driving the race car. And I don't know why he doubted himself. Nicky B is one of the few that, you know, has a natural talent. Not many out there like me, Tyler, Nicky B, Tyler as in Ducharme. I don't know. There's only a few, not many.
Well, great run here tonight. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for putting on a show for us.
Thanks, James. See you later, alligator.
We're going to watch a derby at I-55 now.
Yeah, I'm not in that for that exact reason.
Yeah, that's how it
Later,
goes
James.
usually. It's a great track, but it definitely ends up being
No,
a
it's not.
derby.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I like it.
I'm glad you do. I don't.
All right, guys, have fun. Appreciate you.
Later,
Thanks,
James.
James.
Later.
Appreciate-
All right, guys, great run here for those guys here tonight. As unfortunately, Ethan Bill's race did not finish. Ward slid across the nose there, and definitely cost a little bit of time for Ethan Bill. Brad Mikulowski says Durgy. As Dylan Gibbs going to be at the top of the charts here in qualifying. Who else we got? We got Ethan Johnson out there. He's in the number 13 machine. Let's see where he's able to put that thing here at I-55. Chase Copeland going to jump up to the top of the charts with the quick time. An 11. What is that? 11.997? Is that what it is? Yeah, I figured. So Ethan Johnson going to jump up with the quick time with 11.926 from Ethan Johnson in that number 13 machine. Look at who has made an appearance here in the Supers. It's going to be Felix Waugh as he heads into turn number 1 and 2. Don't see Felix in the Super very often, and don't see him on iRacing lately this often, but he is out here having some fun. He's going to bobble through turn number 3 and 4. That time, where is he going to put it? He's going to be 9th quick with a 12.2. That is not the lap time he wanted. Here's a name we haven't seen very often in these top split openers in a while. It's going to be Rourke, Lucas Rourke in that number 5 machine. As he is going to come down into turn number 3 and 4. Ethan Johnson going to hold that quick time ahead of Hayden Tolson. Where is Lucas Rourke able to put that number 5 machine? He's going to be 14th quick. As Dylan Yeager's struggling a little bit too. As Carson Jenkins going to jump it up into the number 3 spot. Jordan Casey out on the track. He's currently in the number 11 spot. Felix Waugh way back in 19. Busby in the number 82. He's 23rd as Buchanan did not get a lap in the number 31. He's going to be starting shotgun on the field here in heat race number 2, as we are going to get 2 heat races and an LCQ. We got 24 cars. That means we're going to be sending 6 people home here tonight. Super late models. This is going to be a wild one, as we are starting to get some people in over on the YouTube side. Let's go ahead and get them lined up here for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole here tonight in heat race number 1, it's going to be the number 13 of Ethan Johnson. Outside of him in the number 62 machine, it's going to be Carson Jenkins. Starting inside row number 3, it's going to be Jesse Newsom. Outside of him, it's going to be the 33 of Hunter Rich. Starting inside row number 3, it's going to be Daniel Elkins. Outside of him, it's going to be Jordan Casey. Starting inside row number 4, and then number, what number was his? Number 35 machine, it's going to be Ethan Stuckwich. Outside of him, it's going to be JC Floyd. Starting inside row number 9, it's going to be Mason Cassidy. Outside of him, in the number 91, it's going to be Felix Waugh. Then rounding out the field here tonight in the number 11 spot, it's going to be the 83 of Colton Jordan. Outside of him, in the 82, it's going to be Desmond Busby. They're going to pull out on the track 2 pace laps here as we get ready for heat race number 1. Who's your picks out in the chat? Let me know as they head into turn number 1 and 2. I'll tell you what, if these guys can keep it clean, this could be a hell of a race here tonight. This is a tight track. Inside wall, outside wall. Gets very treacherous up on that high side. That wall will grab you and spit you out. These guys are going to have to be careful here tonight as they look for the green flag as they head into turn number 1 and 2. These guys side by side all the way through the field. Can Ethan Johnson hold on here in heat race number 1 as they head into turn number 3? When is Johnson going to fire him off looking for the green flag? Out of turn number 4, green flag is out. Green flag is out as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, he's going to kiss the wall a little bit there. Johnson with a good jump, though, down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Elkins will make it to the feature in this one. That's your back. Oh, we're wrecking. We're wrecking in the back as Jordan Casey and Ethan Stuckwich go around. Let's go take a look and see what happened there. Looks like Jordan Casey up on the high side. Oh, what? Was that a straight line? What the fuck was that? I don't know. That didn't look very good as Johnson going to continue to lead the field. Let's go see who's in that number 7 spot as Casey, no spoiler, has to pull onto pit road. Right now it is Mason Cassidy in the number 17, holding on to that final transfer spot. Felix Waugh trying to close in. Out of turn number 4, they're going to be 3 wide for the pole and the Consi as we get a slide job out of... We got a major slide job there out of Colton Jordan as Felix Waugh going to be out of this one. Back up to the front is going to be Ethan Johnson leading the way. Carson in that number 2 spot. Hunter Rich making some moves. He's looking up underneath Carson Jenkins. Jenkins going to rip it out of turn number 4. We're going to battle behind him between Newsom and Elkins. Elkins down low in that number 87 as they come down the back straightaway. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Great battle back here at the back of the transfer spots as they head into turn number 1 and 2. 3 wide as Mason Cassidy JC Floyd looking down low in that number 18. Here comes Newsom. Newsom trying to move his way forward in that number 11 as they head through 1 and 2. Carson Jenkins going to bang the wall as the checkered flag comes out. Wow, those laps went quick. It's going to be Ethan Johnson, Carson Jenkins, Hunter Rich, Jesse Newsom, Elkins, Floyd, Cassidy, and Jordan rounding out the field of cars going to tonight's feature. Starting on the pole here tonight in heat race number 2, it's going to be the 327 of Hayden Tolson. Outside of him in the number J7, it's going to be Diesel Jones. Starting inside, row number 2 in the number 32 machine, it's going to be Christopher Joy. Outside of him in the number 1, it's going to be Chase Copeland. Starting inside, row number 5 here tonight. In that number... Why did the camera change on me? In the number 24 machine, it's going to be Knox Lumley. Outside of him, it's going to be the 747 of Tyson Banks. Starting inside, row number 4 in the number 48, it's going to be Dylan Yeager. Outside of him, in the number 5, it's going to be Lucas Rourke. Then starting behind him in the number 33 machine, it's going to be Dylan Gibbs. Outside of him, in the number 07, it's going to be Tyler Bickford. Starting inside, row number 7. In that number 1 machine, it's going to be Caden Reynolds. Outside of him, in the number 31, it's going to be Robbie Buchanan. Look for Robbie Buchanan to try to move his way up through the field into a transfer spot. If he can keep it clean, I'd almost put money on him to make it into the feature. How far forward will he go? I'm not sure, but we're going to find out as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they head into 1 and 2. Hayden Tolson going to easily slide up the track as he blinks out of turn at number 2. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Joy. Joy going to look for turn number 2 as he slides up the track. Here comes Copeland back down low. Copeland went back with the crossover out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Tries to put himself low on Christopher Joy. Joy looking good in that number 32 as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Diesel Jones has fallen backwards in that J7 as he is looking to fall even further back as Yeager is digging the bottom side as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4 for being a wheel. Taylor, you're a wheel, says Nick Brundage. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. 4 laps complete halfway through this one as they come out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Oh, Diesel Jones hard on the wall. He's going to fall way back. Jones back into the number 6 spot. Here comes Lucas Rourke. He's going to pass him. Puts Diesel Jones in that final transfer position. Buchanan going to try to make a big move, big slide by Buchanan through turn number 3 and 4. He has not made the ground. I expected him as they head into turn number 1 and 2. 2 laps to go. It is chaos at the back of the field as they're 3 wide in the rear into turn number 3 and 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Oh, we got a big wreck. Yeager hard on the wall. Yeager hard on the wall. He's going to be out of a transfer spot as Tolson going to take the win here tonight. Joy, Copeland, Numley. I just called Knox Lumley Numley. What the fuck? Lucas Rourke, Gibbs, and Reynolds going into the feature. Let's go see what the fuck happened. What the fuck happened here? Oh, a little bit of contact here. He just turned right. What the? Not really sure what happened there. All right, we're going to go ahead and stack them up for the LCQ. Starting on the pole here tonight in the number 83 machine, it's going to be Colton Jordan. Outside of him in the J7, it's going to be Diesel Jones. Starting inside, row number 2 in the number 82 machine, it's going to be Desmond Busby. Outside of him in the number 31, it's going to be Robbie Buchanan. Starting inside, row number 5, it's going to be the 35 of Ethan Stuckwich. Outside of him in the 07, it's going to be Tyler Bickford. Starting inside, row number 4 in the number 91 machine, it's going to be Felix Waugh. Outside of him in the 747, it's going to be Tyson Banks. Then rounding out the field tonight, who would have guessed those two would have been in the back of the LCQ? It's Jordan Casey in that number 42 and Dylan Yeager in the 48. Up to the front as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Top 4 transfer through. We are sending 6 drivers home here tonight out of the LCQ. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have called any of these guys in the LCQ. All right, we're going to stack them up 2 by 2 as they come out of turn number 4. It is 1 to go as they come across the line. This could be a shit show, guys. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be absolutely wild. I would put money on it. We are going to see some crazy moves as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Who is your pick for the LCQ? Let me know in the chat. As they come out of turn number 4, green flag is out. Green flag's out as they head into 1 and 2. Here comes Diesel Jones. Jordan up on the high side. Big run out of 2. Jones down low. Jones going to slide him in 3 and 4. Jones to the point, cut down by Jordan. Jordan going to have a big run out of turn 4. Tries to slide him in 1 and 2. Oh, they're going to touch as he comes across the nose of that J7. 3 wide for the lead into turn number 3 and 4. They're going to be 3 wide behind him as Busby's going to take advantage. He takes the lead that time by. Here comes Jones in the J7. He's going to slide up the track, gives Busby some room as Jordan's going to slide back up into this one, into turn number 3 and 4. Look at the moves out here out of turn 4, down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. BBR 22B, says Jake. As they head into turn number 3 and 4, it's going to be Jordan out front. They're almost 3 wide per second. Top 4 going to transfer through as Stuckwich is the first one out. Buchanan's out, Casey's out, Roy, Banks, and Yeager all not going to the feature if it finished right now as they're halfway through. 5 to go, almost 3 wide. They're going to be 4 wide coming out of turn number 2. Trying to take it 4 wide for that number 3 spot as they head through turn number 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. 6 laps complete. Here comes Jones. Slide job up the track. Jordan back with the cut down out of turn number 2. Slide job by Jordan. Cut down by Jones. Jones going to drive it out of turn number 4. Can't get it to the line. It's going to be Jordan at the line. Jones going to slide in turn number 1 and 2. Contact as Busby gets into the back of Jordan. That's going to give Jones some breathing room into 3 and 4. 2 laps to go as they come across the line. This time by 3 wide per third. Down the front straightaway. Contact as Buchanan gets into the back of Busby. Busby with a big save. Buchanan falls out. Casey's now in. Down into turn number 3 and 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Will we see a haymaker here? Down into turn number 1 and 2. Right now, Casey on that bubble spot. Behind him, Busby. Will Busby make the move through turn number 3 and 4? Contact for the lead between Jones and Jordan as they come across the line. Oh, big hit into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Jordan, Jones, Bickford, and Casey going to the feature here tonight. Busby, Buchanan, Stuckwich, Banks, Watt, and Rumsey going home. What's it? Yeager, sorry, Rumsey's not here. I'm so fucking tired. All right, that was wild. All right, let's go ahead and stack them up here for the main event. That was so freaking crazy, guys. Let's do tonight's starting lineup as they are going to pull out on the track. Starting on the pole here tonight in the number 13 machine, it is going to be Ethan Johnson. Outside of him in the 327, it's going to be Hayden Tolson. Starting inside row number 3 in the number 62 machine, it's going to be Carson Jenkins. Outside of him in the number 32, it's going to be Christopher Joy. Starting inside row number 3 in the number 3 machine, it's going to be Hunter Rich. Outside of him in the number 1, it's going to be Chase Copeland. Starting inside row number 4 in the number 11 machine, it's going to be Jesse Newsom. Outside of him, in the number 24, it's going to be Clumley. Just kidding. Knox Lumley. Starting inside row number 5 in the number 87 machine, it's going to be Elkins. Outside of him in the number 5, it's going to be Lucas Rourke. It's going to be J.C. Floyd in that number 11 spot. Dylan Gibbs in a 12. Then rounding out the field here tonight, it will be Mason Cassidy in 13th, Reynolds 14th, Jordan 15th, Diesel Jones 16th, Bickford 17th, and Jordan Casey in that number 18 spot. Looking for the green flag. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Johnson going to lead the way. It's going to be Hayden Tolson in that number 2 spot, side by side for third, as Christopher Joy rips the outside. He's going to take the number 3 spot as they come out of turn number 4. A little bit of a stack up there as the 62 of Jenkins has a little checkup as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Christopher Joy down low, and Hunter Rich even lower in that number 3 machine. We got one blanket out. It is going to be the number 80 or 62 of Carson Jenkins down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. You got to watch this. Such tight quarters as the 3 of Hunter Rich gets the inside wall. Big save as they come down the back straightaway. He's going to get the wall again. Rich can't keep it off the inside wall as it is crazy behind him as we got a battle for the lead. Here comes Tolson. Tolson going to rip the outside in that 327. Goes to the bottom of 3 and 4. Tries to slide. Has to get on the brakes as Johnson's going to lead that time by. Johnson going to set it into turn number 1 and 2. Joy's going to have a big run in that number 32 down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Johnson's going to set it up, put them two side by side out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Johnson leads the way, battle for second as Tolson rolls the bottom. Here comes Joy up high, down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Great racing side by side out of turn at number 4 down the front straightaway. They are like 3 and 4 wide back in the field. This is nuts at the back of the pack. As we move back up to the battle for second, looks like Joy going to take that number 3 spot. Tolson falls back to third. He's trying to dig back low. He can't get there as they head into turn at number 1 and 2. Here comes Lumley in the number 24, trying to find a spot as they head through turn number 3 and 4. I'll tell you what, that track is slick as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Laps quick and clicking down quick as we are almost 10 laps complete. We are 10 laps complete as they come across the line. 12-second laps here in the super late models, definitely clicking the laps down quickly as Tolson trying to look down low on Christopher Joy as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Johnson pulling away from the field as Tolson looking for second once again out of turn number 2. Will he fall back in line? He's got to be careful as Jenkins looking to his outside. He's going to slide up the track, blocks the door, closes it on Jenkins into turn number 1 and 2. Jenkins going to go low on him as they come out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Jenkins back in line. Lumley just behind these guys in that number 24, patiently waiting for his opportunity as Copeland and Rourke are side by side behind him out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. As Jenkins going to go up the track, Tolson's going to blink as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Tolson up the track as Jenkins gets into the back of him as they come down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Look for Jenkins, no slide job here. Big run for Tolson down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Side by side, Tolson going to rip that high side. He's going to keep the spot. That's going to open the door for Lumley. Lumley to the high side through turn number 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, going to be Lumley up to that number 4 position. Lumley, very patient here tonight. He waited for the door to open, took advantage of it, did not push the issue as we got contact as Rourke's going to get into Jenkins as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Rourke going to get back in line as they head single file through turn number 3 and 4. Looks like that top side is really it right now at 3 and 4. Back in the pack, here comes Jordan Casey. Jordan Casey going to slide up in front of Reynolds. Reynolds can't come back with the cut down as they head into 3 and 4. 3 wide, Diesel Jones into Reynolds. Back up to the front as it looks like Hayden Tolson going to take that number 2 spot. Joy back to third. Here comes Jenkins fighting back on the inside as they come out of turn number 2, up underneath Lumley into turn number 3 and 4. Johnson is shipped off into his own zip code as these guys race side by side behind him into turn number 1 and 2. Closing in on the halfway point. It is 22 laps complete. 3 more laps to halfway. No caution flags, keeping it lean and green so far. These guys are elbows up. I don't know if it's talent or luck, the reason we haven't had a caution yet, but these guys able to keep it straight for now as they come out of turn number 4. A lot of wall riding in turn number 3 and 4 as they come down the back straightaway. Let's see if they do it again. These guys been banging the wall. This time they keep it off it a little bit as they head through 3 and 4, down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Here comes Lucas Rourke down low on Jenkins out of turn number 2. Rourke has to get in line. These guys banging the wall. We're going to watch somebody end up having that wall bite him, and that's going to make things awfully interesting as Hunter Rich throws a slider on Copeland. Copeland going to cut back up underneath him into turn number 3 and 4. No slide there. Big run for Hunter Rich. Hunter Rich going to have it at the line into turn number 1 and 2. Copeland down low, side by side out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Give Hunter Rich that number 7 spot back. He is looking to move his way forward. He's got side-by-side battle here as Lumley going to slide up the track, cut down as we got a caution flag. Diesel Jones with issues. Let's see. Diesel's been a little bit wild here tonight. Let's see what happened to him in that J7. He's going to go. Oh, he's losing it. He just stops on the track. Why did he stop on the track? I guess he's going on pit road. Too much. Did he just do that to draw the caution? That is pretty fucking lame. That is lame as shit. Diesel Jones just stops on the track. I mean, it is hard to hit that pit road. That might have been part of it, but that is lame reason to have a caution. If we look through the pack, look at all the damage on these cars. Lots of damage on these cars through the field. They have been elbows up as Ethan Johnson and Hayden Tolson lead the field into turn number 3 and 4. Looking for that green flag. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Johnson going to get on the gas down into turn number 1 and 2. He gets the top side. Tolson down low. Can't get it to stick. Has to get in line into turn number 3 and 4. This is the most pressure Johnson has had in quite a while as they are 29 laps complete. It is going to be 20 to go when they hit the line as Tolson looking low down into turn number 3 and 4. That caution is not what Johnson wanted to see as they come across the line. 20 laps to go as Tolson rolling that bottom side through turn number 1 and 2. Middle side anyway. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Johnson going to marry that wall through 3 and 4. Big run down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Tolson down low. Johnson up high. Drag race out of turn number 2. Oh, they were wrecking in the back. Let's see what happened here. I think four wide down the front straightaway. All right, so let's take a look, and we can get a pretty good idea what happened here. And Lucas is going to get the worst of this one. So they're just going to run out of room. Diesel Jones is going to come to the bottom here and swipe right. No, they're already into each other before Jones even gets up there. 3 of them, 3 wide. They're going to get in the wall. Jones going to come up. That contact from Jones did absolutely nothing. More contact behind him. Big hit for Lucas as he noses it into the wall. And they head into turn number 1 and 2. So caution flag comes out. Yeah, I think it's just lame. I think it's lame when they do it in real life. I need to go on pit road, so I'm going to stop and draw the caution. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Looking for the green flag as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Green flag is out. I think they should penalize the guys for doing that. That should never be a caution. Tolson going to dive up underneath. Can't quite get the pass. Johnson's going to slide through turn number 3 and 4. Tolson just behind him. Out of turn 4. 17 laps to go. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Ethan Johnson leading the way. Hayden Tolson in second. Jenkins in third, Joy in fourth, Lumley in that number 5 spot. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. They can on iRacing. I just think that there should be a penalty for it. If somebody intentionally, I get if you get spun and you wait, I'm good with that. But if you stop because you want to go in the pits, that you should never be allowed to stop on the track just to draw the caution. Unless you're involved in a wreck. Out front, Ethan Johnson leads the way. Hayden Tolson in second. Jenkins in third. Christopher Joy in that number 4 spot. Or 4 spot. Lumley in fifth. These cautions have not done the 32 of Christopher Joy very well. He has lost a spot as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Johnson going to lead it out of turn number 4. Tolson in second. Jenkins in third as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, Tolson in the wall too much. Opens the door for Jenkins. Jenkins going to slide into turn number 3 and 4. Up the track, cut down by Tolson. So Tolson getting the wall. This might cost him a spot. Tolson going to slide him in 1 and 2. Jenkins with an easy cut down out of 2 down the front straightaway into 1 and then to 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, here comes Tolson back down low. Jenkins going to have it at the line. 10 laps to go as they come out of turn number 2. Down into 3 and 4. Slide job by Jenkins. Cut down by Tolson. Tolson might have, nope, it's about the same as Jenkins going to play smart. Pinches Tolson down through 1 and 2. He's going to get the spot up to the number 2 position or for Jenkins. Tolson now back to third as they head through 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. 8 laps complete. Johnson leading the field. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. 7 laps to go. Let's go see what they're doing back here. They're side by side there. They're trying to make it 3 wide behind them as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Down into turn number 1 and 2. 6 laps to go. Down into 3 and 4. 5 laps to go this time by 5 laps to go. Johnson out front. Jenkins in second. Tolson in third. Joy putting the pressure on out of turn number 2. Down into turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 46 laps complete. 4 laps to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Can these guys keep it clean? Joy gets the wall. That's going to cost them time. Lumley hunting in that number 24 through turn number 3 and 4. 3 laps to go as they come across the line. It is chaos. Chaos back in the field as we move back up to the front. Tolson trying to reel back into 62. Can't quite get there. Out of turn number 4. 2 laps to go into turn number 1 and 2. Thought it was white flag. Will we keep it green? Will we see the white flag through turn number 3 and 4? White flag in the air. We got 1 lap to go for Ethan Johnson. Jenkins in second. Tolson third. Joy in fourth. Lumley in that number 5 spot. Down into turn number 3 and 4. 1 last time. Johnson takes the win. Jenkins in second. Tolson, Joy, and Lumley, your top 5. Good win out of Ethan Johnson in that number 13. He's going to pull off the track. We're going to go through the results. We'll see if anybody jumps into the Discord. It is going to be Ethan Johnson with the win here tonight. Carson Jenkins in second. Hayden Tolson going to be in that number 3 spot. Christopher Joy in 4th. Lumley's going to be in 5th. J.C. Floyd in 6th. Dylan Gibbs in 7th. Going to be Caden Reynolds in the number 8 spot. Mason Cassidy in 9th. Chase Copeland in 10th. Going to be Daniel Elkins in the number 11 spot. Jesse Newsom 12th. Tyler Bickford in 13th. Going to be Colton Jordan in the number 14 spot. Hunter Rich in 15th. Casey in 16th. Diesel Jones 17th. And Lucas Rourke in that number 18 spot. Man, they go so fast at that track. We got Cedar Lake with the UMP still left tonight. We might have to find us a little filler here as it's 9:22. That race doesn't come up until 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. Let's see if anybody is in the Discord. No one in the Discord. Let's see what we got coming up for filler. Probably 358s maybe. Where are the 358s at this week? Looks like the 358s are at Lernerville, so we might jump in on at the Lernerville one. I don't think we got enough time for 360s at Volusia. Let's see what might already be live that weren't in that I could jump over to now, maybe even. Just taking a look at what we got going on now. We got that's probably going to be pretty deep into that. When did it go? 10, 9. Yeah, they're going to be pretty deep into that one. I don't think I have anything good that I could pull up and we can watch. You know what? Are they still? They're still doing 410s at Huset's. 20 minutes in. Let's see, when is it? Oh, 10:15. All right, so we're gonna jump in and watch some 410s. Let's see. To fill in a little bit of space here, so let me go ahead and pull this up. We're gonna jump over into the 410s. Just to kill a little bit of time before we get into tonight's UMP event. They will be in at least their heat races. Oh, they're going to be in the feature. There's not that many cars in here at Houston. It's probably, thankfully. So we're going to be closing in on their heat race, maybe a feature. They won't have a consi. Phew, I am sweating. It is warm in my garage here tonight. All right, jumping into the 410s as it looks like they're just getting into their first heat race. We're going to go ahead and pull that up, watch the heat race here, fill a little bit of time in, and they should finish they should finish pretty quick here. I bet they're going to be ripping some quick laps in these 410s as it's going to be. I have no fucking clue. Who's got the pole? My ticker's all goofy. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Where is the leaders? Oh, they're wrecking. They're wrecking at the back. Wrecking for last as we move back up to the front is going to be. Oh, who's got the lead? I don't know what's going on with this. Tyler going to lead the way down the front back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. These cars pretty wild here. It did end up fixing itself as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Tyler Shell leading the way. Hank Soares in second. Spencer Putney in that number 3 spot. Jackson Holiday in the 4th. Samuel Johnson in 5th. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 3 laps to go as they come down the front straightaway here in the 410s. Tyler Shell going to get way sideways as our leader. These guys zipping around the track pretty quickly here as they head down into turn number 1 and 2. 2 laps to go down the back straightaway. Wall riding by Jackson as he hits the wall through 3 and 4. Going to be white flag, 1 lap to go as Tyler Shell rolls through turn number 3 and 4. He's going to take the win here tonight. Hank Soares, Spencer Putney, Jackson Holiday, Samuel Johnson, Lewis Knight, Derek Jones, Robert Braden Daniel rounding out the field. All right, so that was the heat race here tonight. We're going to get right into the feature. It is going to be, how many laps is the feature in this thing? 30 laps here tonight at Houston. They're running 10, 11 second laps. This is going to be quick. As long as we don't get too many cautions, it should be quick. Let's get ready for tonight's starting lineup here for the 410s here at Houston. It is going to be Tyler Schell starting on the pole here tonight in that number 85. Outside of him in the number 1 is going to be Hank Soares. Starting in the number 3 spot, it's going to be Spencer Putney. Outside of him, it is going to be Jackson Holiday. Starting inside row number 3, it's going to be Samuel Johnson. Outside of him in the number 7, it's going to be Lewis Knight. Starting inside row number 4 and the number 8 machine, it's going to be Derek Jones. Outside of him, it's going to be Robert Brenneman. Starting inside row number 5, it's going to be Braden Leggett. Outside of him, it's going to be Daniel Santoreno. Am I saying that right? I don't know. I don't really care. We're getting ready for some racing here tonight as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Going to be 30 laps here tonight to close us into the UMP race 410 sprints here at Houston. I got to adjust these cameras for this track. I guess 1 is the best, maybe? As they head through turn number 3 and 4, they're going to get that 1 to go this time by. Tyler Schell has to be a favorite here in the 84. He was so quick in the heat race. As they head into turn number 1 and 2, who's it going to be here tonight? Will the wall bite someone? These guys definitely relying on that wall an awful lot here, as we've seen in heat race number 1. Pace truck is in, looking for the green flag. Tyler Schell leads the field. Green flag is out. Green flag is out. Hank Soares with a great run up on the high side. Schell's going to slide up. Here comes Hank in that number 51. He's going to rip the high side through turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn 4, looks low, decides against it as they stay single file into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Hank's going to start to lose some ground here, but Tyler Schell going to bang the wall. That's going to allow Hank to close the gap almost into the back of that number 85. Down through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Nose to tail, first and second. They get together in 3 and 4. Here comes Spencer Putney down low in the 17. Hank Soares is going to pay for that one as he falls back into the number 4 spot. Jackson Holiday gets around him. Here comes Hank down low. Hank going to slide it through turn number 3 and 4. Rolls the bottom in 3 and 4. They touch down the front straightaway. Holiday into the wall in 1 and 2. Holiday going to lose a bunch of spots here as they come down the front straightaway. Here comes Lewis Knight. Hank Soares trying to get away from these guys as Holiday and Knight battle side by side into turn number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. A lot of wall riding here as Holiday going to ride the wall through 3 and 4 down into turn number 1 and 2. These guys now starting to roll the bottom side. That wall is no longer working for him. Spencer Putney trying to close in on Schell. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Schell leading the way. 7 laps complete. Make it 8 complete this time by Tyler Schell at the line. 8 laps complete. 22 laps to go. Field starting to spread out a little bit. This is going to be the battle on the track as Jackson Holiday rides the top side. Derek Jones trying to find it down low. He's going to shoot high into turn number 3 and 4. 9 laps complete. It is pretty wild to watch these guys try to play the different lines. Jones going to get the berm. That's going to cost him a bunch as these guys race hard for that number 9 spot. Will our leader find lap traffic? It looks like he is going to, as Braden is just ahead of our leader. Will that play a role for the battle for the lead as they head through turn number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway? Our leader closing in on lap traffic. Narrow track at Houston's. 12 laps complete. We got 18 laps to go as they head through 1 and 2. He is going to catch that lap car probably this next lap. He's going to catch him out of turn number 4. Samuel Johnson with issues in the back. So far, no caution as our leader's going to easily pass the lap car. Johnson able to take the toe. No caution flag comes out as Schell continues to lead. Spencer now finds his way around that lap car as Hank is next in line in that number 1 to catch the pace, catch the lap car as he is quite a ways back right now. They're going to keep it lean and green so far. 15 laps to go. More lap traffic up ahead as Spencer seems to be closing the gap. 0.3 of a second across the line. 14 laps to go. Look at how smooth he is through turn number 1 and 2. I'll tell you what, let's jump in the cockpit of this number 17 machine as he closes the gap on that number 15. Lap traffic up ahead. This is the view these guys have as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Our leader, Tyler Shell, leads the way. 2 lap cars racing, or 2 soon-to-be lap cars racing in front of him. As Derek Jones going to grab the wall. Will they let the leaders around, or will they continue to race as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway into 3 and 4? It is going to be 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. Heavy lap traffic up in front of these leaders. Shell going to roll the bottom. Lap cars stay high. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. 9 laps to go. Putney trying to close the gap on the leader. He is slowing down in lap traffic as Shell continues to lead in that number 85. More lap traffic up ahead for these leaders. Will they catch it? 8 laps to go. Here comes Shell. Has Hank Soares closed the gap? No, he is still 3 seconds behind Putney. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, going to be 7 laps to go. Battle for the lead trying to intensify as there's more lap traffic up ahead. Racing for position. How will that play out for the leaders with 6 laps to go? Will they catch them? Can Spencer find the speed to close in on that number 85? Shell going to grab the berm. That's going to cost them a little bit as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, 5 laps to go. They are going to be awfully close to those lap cars as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway as Shell continues to just roll that top side. Putney has moved it up to the middle as they head through turn number 1 and 2 side by side ahead of the leaders. 4 laps to go. Going to make it 3 to go this time by. 3 laps to go as they come across the line. Going to be Shell leading the way. Putney behind him. Lap cars of Brenneman and Holiday just ahead of them as they head through turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Here comes Putney. We got a battle starting to brew for the lead as Putney grabs the wall, loses a little bit of ground on it, turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Shell going to go to the top side. Putney down low. It is white flag. 1 lap to go. Can Putney hold on through turn number 3 and 4? White flag down the back straightaway. Now down into 3 and 4. Lap traffic plays a role. Shell takes the win. Putney second. Soares, Knight, Holiday, Brenneman, Daniel, Jones, and Leggett rounding out the field. They went green to checkered here tonight at Houston. Samuel having issues. Let's go take a look and see what happened to Samuel in this one in that number 5 machine. He's going to just grab the wall, isn't he? Yep, he's going to grab it right here. Breaks it, and then boom. No wonder it didn't throw the yellow. He's going to go ahead and take the tow, and he was done for the race. What a race here tonight. Guys, that was actually way more interesting than I thought it was going to be in the 410 Modifieds. Or 410 sprint cars. So used to calling Modifieds and not sprints. UMP Modifieds coming up next. We got about 7 minutes. We're going to go jump in on the practice of that one. Kind of see who is out there, who is racing. Let's go find the UMPs. Only 11 people registered for that one. We'll see if more people get in there. I don't see the usual suspects in there. It looks like that. I might not. We're going to go ahead and jump into the practice session for now as these guys get ready. for tonight's main event, the finale for tonight's racing week 1 action here for season 3 2025 in the UMP Modifieds. Coming up next, let's jump in the practice. Let's see who's all in there. Go ahead and throw some music up as we were waiting. That way it's not too boring. Let's go take a look and see who we got in here in the practice session. I guess I registered for it rather than Bringing trails from green to checkered, all out attack. We're born for the dirt, ain't looking back. All right, these guys out on the track burning in it in a little bit. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if they're burning it in. Right now, Mike Simon of the quick time here in practice. We got about 5 minutes before this session goes live. Looking to see who's going to end up jumping in here as these guys going to do some laps. I need to go ahead and update our heading here. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me know out in the chat. Let me know. This is our creed. Dirt track living is all we need. Giving it all, no room for slack. Down in the mud and we're never looking back. We're burning up dirt, kicking up dust. Ain't nothing like racing with the rest of us. You know, I kind of wonder where T Clem is. You know, this is a series he likes to do is the UMP Modifieds. Will T Clem end up out here tonight? Let's see who else we got. Let's see if anybody else is joining the session or on their way in. Does not look like there is anybody else in. Mike's going to go ahead and leave. Will this even go? 11 cars are registered right now for tonight's race. Let's see. We'll see if Jacob Fields shows up. He possibly could. Right now we are on the number 7 of Davis Lee Master. Never heard of him. Oh, looks like a few more people have joined, signed up for some UMP Modifieds. I don't see Jacob Fields, which is definitely odd. At least not yet. As the 7 going to have issues here. Aiden Hervey up to that quick time. Kelson Yates in the second quick. Devin Leemaster fourth quick. It looks like Trevor Ryan just joins us. Does look like people are slowly starting to add themselves into the UMP Modifieds. This is our anthem, this is our creed. Dirt Oh, wow. 3 wide. Who's your picks here tonight? Who do you like in the UMP Modifieds? Will we see some of the regulars end up showing up here tonight? Listen to the cars rolling out there here tonight. Still, 25 people are registered. 1 minute to go left to go before the UMP Modifieds go live here tonight. Let's see. Do we have anybody big in here yet? Let's see. I see nobody. I guess we're going to learn some new people tonight. It might end up a single split unless we get a bunch of people that jump in here late. Oof. Big wreck in there. What else do we got going live here next? Looks like we got the 410s at Houston's going live again. Fixed setup supers. Oh no, supers are going to go live again. Mini stocks, nope, mini stocks aren't going live. So UMP Modifieds about to go live here. We're going to go ahead and get ready to jump there when we start seeing these guys pop off. UMP Modifieds here at Cedar Lake coming up. We got to go ahead and switch the session here in just a minute. Waiting for these guys to get booted out of this one. Let's see if anybody else has joined in. Looks like we might. Well, we're going to end up with 2 splits, I think. I forget how many people they allow in one split of the UMPs. It's going to be pretty close. There's 22 people registered. And there's absolutely nobody I've ever heard of signed up for the UMP race. Hunter McCall. I think that's the only one. You can hear they've all kind of left as it's gotten awfully quiet out there. All right, let's go jump over into that session. Devin's going to do some extra laps all by himself now as he was apparently not registered for the race. UMP Modifieds coming up for the first time this season here as we jump into that session. Looks like it is a 2740 SOF. $15 cars means everybody is making it to the feature here tonight. As we get ready for some top split action. Who would have thunk we would have been calling a 2700 split top split in the UMP Modifieds. All right, so these guys out on the track now, putting some laps in the actual race session. It is going to be 30 laps here tonight for the main event. We will get 2 heat races. Everybody's going to make the feature. Everyone will make the feature as Hunter has fallen back to the number 3 spot and Speed Kelson with the quick time right now in that number 1 machine. Appreciate you guys sticking it out with me here tonight. I have nobody watching on Facebook. That has got to be a first. That has got to be a first. Devin Brannon with the quick time right now. I think I've seen him before. It's 3 minutes of practice. Yeah, 3 minutes of practice, 5 minutes of qualifying, and a race. We don't have a heat race. It is just the race. Why did I think there was going to be heat racing? Oh, it's fixed. Did they take away the open set? Did they take away the open set?
No, it's still there.
My bad. I was trying to.
Why is this fixed?
Anyway.
It isn't.
Why they got to start us out with a track that's just completely
The 15 is open.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they jumbled it up. They mixed it up. So the next open is in 25
All right.
minutes.
So I'm going to not stream this. I'm probably not going to stream that one. I got to rethink how I'm streaming then.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
do that for.
Yeah, they changed
I
it
hate
from
it.
45 to 15 hour now.
I didn't notice that. That's why I didn't know who was in here.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Maybe I'll close this down and then get live for that one instead.
Alrighty.
All right. Later, bud.
Yep.
All right. So T Clem let me know. I didn't know that they jumbled it up on me. So, guys, we'll come back up at, God, that means this is the third top split. So fucking dumb. What are you doing, iRacing? All right. That's going to be it for tonight. We might just go, I don't know. I'll figure out. I might come back for the 10-15, and then next week we'll do it right after the other one. So we'll be back 10-15 probably to stream that one. Guys, be safe until next time. Be safe and have a good night.